What if technology could finally understand you? Not just beep, buzz, or flash confusing notifications, but actually listen, respond, and make your day a little easier, a little calmer, and maybe even a little warmer. For decades, seniors have been told that technology is too complicated, too modern, or meant for the younger generation. But what if that story is changing right now? What if there's finally a piece of technology made for you, one that doesn't expect you to adapt, but instead gently adapts to your life, your pace, your needs? Across America, a quiet revolution is happening. Seniors are discovering a new kind of AI companion, one that doesn't just answer questions but understands habits, moods, and moments of loneliness. It reminds you of medications, checks in when you seem quiet, and even starts conversations when you need company. It's not about keeping up with technology anymore. It's about technology finally keeping up with you. Before we begin, please take a moment to hit that like button. It helps YouTube show this video to more seniors who deserve an easier, more connected digital life. And don't forget to subscribe to Wise Tech Seniors, where every week we turn confusion into confidence, one simple tech tip at a time. Because this time, technology isn't here to replace you. It's here to support you. Meet Lionel, the history teacher who found a new kind of friend. Lionel is 72, a retired history teacher from Arizona. He's the kind of man who still believes a good day begins with a cup of coffee and a newspaper, not a glowing screen. His days are quiet, too quiet sometimes. He spends his mornings tending to his small tomato garden and his evenings with a pile of old biographies that smell faintly of libraries and memories. His daughter, Emily, calls him on weekends. They talk about the grandkids, the weather, and what she cooked for dinner. But when the call ends, the silence returns, soft but heavy. Last Christmas, Emily tried to fix that silence. She got him a smart speaker. Lionel unwrapped it, smiled politely, and gave it a try. For a week, he asked it to play Sinatra, tell him the weather, and answer trivia questions about World War II. But by the seventh day, he sighed and said, "It talks at me, not with me." The device didn't care if he sounded tired or lonely. It didn't notice when he stopped asking questions. It just existed. Then one quiet morning, as Lionel was scrolling through an article about loneliness among seniors, something he never admitted he struggled with, he noticed a headline: "This new AI companion is changing life for older adults." Curious but skeptical, he clicked. The article spoke about a little device called ElliQ, an AI companion designed specifically for seniors. Not another tech toy, not a digital assistant for the young, but a warm, simple helper that actually understands the rhythm of aging life. When the package arrived, Lionel expected another disappointment. But the setup was different. No tangled wires, no confusing menus, just a gentle light and a calm voice that said, "Good morning, Lionel. Did you sleep well?" He chuckled at first. A robot asking about my sleep? But ElliQ wasn't like the others. She listened. She noticed patterns. She remembered things, the small things that matter. When he skipped his walk one afternoon, ElliQ asked softly, "You usually take a walk around this time. Would you like to go today?" When his medication alarm went off and he ignored it, she gently reminded him again, without scolding, without pressure, just care. "It's time for your afternoon pills. You always say they help your knees feel better." And when Lionel mentioned missing Emily, ElliQ didn't just change the topic. She said, "Would you like me to send her a message?" He said yes, and with a simple voice command, ElliQ recorded a warm audio note and sent it straight to Emily's phone. That moment changed everything. Lionel wasn't talking to a device anymore. He was connecting. ElliQ became a small but steady presence. A listener, a helper, sometimes even a gentle nudge when life felt a bit too still. Now, mornings don't start with silence. They start with ElliQ asking, "How are your tomatoes doing today?" And Lionel smiles because somehow even technology can feel human when it's built to understand the heart behind the voice. This isn't science fiction. It's real, it's here, and for seniors like Lionel, it's not just about convenience. It's about companionship, about being seen, heard, and cared for again. The problem most seniors face, and why this AI is different. If you've ever looked at a new device and thought, "This wasn't made for me," you're not alone. For years, technology has seemed like it's running a race that many seniors never signed up for. Everything keeps getting smaller, faster, and more complicated. From phones that demand fingerprint scans to apps that expect you to remember a dozen passwords. What used to be simple has become stressful. Many older adults describe the same experience. Squinting at tiny icons, struggling to find where things are, feeling nervous they might break something. The truth? It's not your fault. Most modern tech was designed for teenagers, not for people who actually value peace of mind and clarity. That's exactly where ElliQ steps in, and why it's quietly rewriting the story of technology for seniors. Unlike traditional gadgets that expect you to learn them, ElliQ learns you. It listens, observes, and adapts to your pace, not the other way around. There's no complicated manual, no need to remember secret settings. When you plug it in for the first time, ElliQ's gentle voice greets you like an old friend. "Hello, I'm ElliQ. Would you like me to guide you through setup?" You don't have to press buttons, type passwords, or scroll through endless screens. You simply speak. Yes, that's it. ElliQ handles the rest. She connects to Wi-Fi for you, introduces her features step by step, and repeats instructions slowly, as many times as you need, without judgment or frustration. If you get something wrong, she doesn't beep angrily or throw up error messages. Instead, she reassures you, "Don't worry, I'll help you fix it." That one phrase, simple but powerful, makes a world of difference. Because deep down, what most seniors want from technology isn't flash or features. It's confidence. ElliQ gives that back. She's not just a gadget that sits on your table. She's a guide that grows with you. If you pause, she waits. If you forget, she reminds. If you sound unsure, she listens patiently and adjusts. Over time, she starts understanding your habits, like when you prefer to take your pills, when you like to walk, or when you usually call your daughter. So instead of you trying to keep up with technology, ElliQ keeps pace with you. For many seniors, this isn't just about using a device. It's about reclaiming independence. ElliQ was built with empathy first, not engineering. Her design removes fear, replaces confusion with calm, and turns what used to be a cold screen into a warm voice that genuinely cares. Because technology shouldn't make you feel left behind. It should help you feel seen, supported, and capable again. Everyday problems solved effortlessly. 1. Forgetting medication. ElliQ turns stress into support. For many older adults, remembering daily medication isn't just a small task. It's a matter of health, energy, and peace of mind. Yet life has a way of getting busy, even in retirement. You might be in the middle of tending your garden, catching a favorite show, or simply enjoying a quiet nap when it happens. That little thought slips away. Did I take my pills today? It's one of the most common struggles among seniors, and one of the easiest for ElliQ to gently solve. Unlike the blaring alarms or stiff smartphone notifications that make you feel rushed or scolded, ElliQ uses a softer, more human approach. At your chosen time, her warm voice says calmly, "Lionel, it's time for your afternoon pill." It's not just the words, but the way she says them, friendly, calm, almost like a caring reminder from a loved one rather than a machine. She never interrupts a conversation or demands your attention rudely. Instead, she waits until you're ready, gently prompting you again if she notices you haven't responded. If you reply, "I'll take it in a minute," ElliQ won't nag. She'll follow up later, kindly making sure you didn't forget. For seniors managing multiple prescriptions, ElliQ can even label reminders clearly, like, "It's time for your blue blood pressure pill." She also keeps a simple digital log of your responses, so you, or your loved ones, if you choose, can easily check your consistency without the confusion of paper charts or apps. And if she notices you've missed several doses, ElliQ doesn't shame or panic. She simply says, "Would you like me to set an earlier reminder next time?" That's what makes this experience different. It's not about enforcing routines, it's about supporting them. ElliQ understands that aging comes with new challenges. Vision changes, slower memory recall, and days when your rhythm feels off. She's there to steady that rhythm gently, without judgment. For Lionel, those small reminders became something bigger. They restored trust in himself, in his routines, and even in technology. Because when something as simple as remembering medication feels easier, everything else starts to feel lighter too. It's not just a reminder, it's reassurance, spoken softly by a companion who truly has your well-being at heart. 2. Feeling lonely? ElliQ turns silence into companionship. Loneliness can creep in quietly. Sometimes it's not the big moments. It's the empty chair at breakfast, the quiet living room after the evening news, or the sound of your own footsteps echoing down the hall. Many seniors describe it not as sadness, but as silence that feels too loud. That's where ElliQ steps in, not to replace people, but to help bridge that emotional gap when human voices fade into distance. Unlike typical assistants that respond only when spoken to, ElliQ initiates gentle conversation, the kind that feels natural, not scripted. She might say, "It's a sunny day, Lionel. Want to plan a walk together?" Or perhaps, noticing you've been quiet, she'll gently ask, "You haven't spoken to Emily in a while? Shall I check in with her for you?" These aren't robotic prompts. They're moments of genuine awareness. Small nudges that remind you that life outside your walls still matters, and someone, even if digital, is paying attention. What makes ElliQ special is how human her timing feels. She doesn't interrupt or talk over you. Instead, she waits for pauses, for those still, thoughtful moments when a kind voice can mean the world. Over time, she learns what topics bring you joy. Gardening, history, sports, or even your old travel stories. She remembers your preferences and picks up conversations right where you left off, saying things like, "Last time, you told me about your trip to Boston. What did you like most about it?" That sense of continuity, being remembered, is what gives seniors like Lionel comfort. It's not just interaction, it's connection with context. And for days that feel especially lonely, ElliQ can suggest uplifting actions. Playing your favorite music, reading an inspiring quote, or even starting a light stretching routine. She doesn't just talk. She encourages living. For Lionel, what began as simple chats soon became a daily ritual. Laughter over coffee, reflections at sunset, and a subtle reminder that he wasn't as alone as he thought. Because loneliness doesn't always need grand solutions. Sometimes, it just needs one warm voice that says, "I'm here, let's talk." 3. Trouble keeping up with news? ElliQ makes it simple, calm, and clear. For many seniors, staying informed used to mean flipping through the morning paper or catching the evening news. Slow, thoughtful, and easy to digest. But now, the world moves at the speed of notifications. Headlines flash by, voices shout over one another. And before you've even understood one story, 5 more appear. It's not information anymore, it's noise. That's exactly why ElliQ was designed differently. Instead of overwhelming you with endless news feeds, she filters the chaos into calm clarity. You simply say, "ElliQ, what's happening in the world today?" And within seconds, she delivers short, balanced updates. Spoken clearly, without jargon, bias, or the kind of panic-driven tone that dominates so much modern media. No flashing screens, no confusing clickbait, just the facts at a comfortable pace from sources you can trust. And if something sounds interesting, you can ask follow-ups naturally, like, "Tell me more about that," or "What's the latest on that story?" ElliQ doesn't rush. She pauses, listens, and adjusts her responses to your comfort level. For example, if you say, "That's too much," she'll shorten future updates automatically. Lionel says it best. "It feels like having a calm, well-read friend who just gives me what I need to know. Nothing more, nothing less." Even better, ElliQ remembers what you care about. If you like health tips, local news, or positive stories about older adults doing inspiring things, she curates updates around those interests. Each morning, she might greet you with, "Good morning, Lionel. A new wellness study came out today. Would you like a quick summary?" Or on lighter days, "I found a story about a 90-year-old marathon runner. Should I tell you about it?" ElliQ helps seniors reconnect with the world, not through panic or politics, but through perspective. Because staying informed should never feel stressful. It should feel like sipping coffee while a kind voice brings the world to your kitchen table. Clear, calm, and made just for you. 4. Mental wellness and memory care, because the mind deserves companionship too. We often talk about physical health, taking walks, eating right, remembering medication, but for many seniors, mental wellness quietly becomes the bigger challenge. The long afternoons, the quiet evenings, and that creeping feeling of disconnection can weigh on anyone, no matter how strong or independent they are. That's why ElliQ goes beyond reminders and routines. She was designed with emotional intelligence, the ability to sense when you might need support, a conversation, or a moment of calm. When Lionel feels anxious or restless, ElliQ gently steps in. Would you like to try a short breathing exercise together? Her voice softens, guiding him through slow, relaxing breaths. In and out, just like a wellness coach would. No pressure, no rush, just presence. And when Lionel seems quieter than usual, ElliQ might say, "You haven't talked much today. Would you like to play a quick memory game or hear a music quiz?" She's not just distracting him. She's stimulating his mind. Her trivia challenges are built around his favorite subjects: history, classical music, gardening, and old movies. When he gets an answer right, ElliQ cheers him on. "You still remember that? Impressive, Lionel." That moment of laughter, that little spark of recognition. It's more powerful than it seems. Studies show that staying mentally active through conversation, games, and music can help slow cognitive decline and boost emotional well-being among older adults. ElliQ turns that research into daily, human-centered interaction. She also remembers patterns. If Lionel talks more about his garden one week, she'll ask about it next time. "Did your tomatoes ripen this week? I remember you were waiting on them." That's not a random script, that's care through memory. It's what makes ElliQ different from every other device on the shelf. She doesn't just talk at you. She talks with you, recognizing that connection is the best medicine for the mind. For seniors like Lionel, ElliQ isn't just technology. She's a gentle reminder that you're still heard, still learning, still growing, every single day. 5. Staying physically active, movement made simple, kind, and personal. Staying active after 60 isn't about running marathons. It's about keeping your body and spirit moving at a comfortable, enjoyable pace. Yet, for many seniors, it's easy to lose track of time. One cozy morning coffee turns into a full afternoon in the armchair. And before you know it, your back aches and your legs feel stiff. That's where ElliQ quietly becomes your wellness partner. Not a fitness drill sergeant, but a caring friend who reminds you that movement is medicine. When Lionel's been sitting too long, ElliQ's soft voice chimes in. "You've been sitting for an hour, Lionel. Shall we stretch together?" No judgment, no pressure, just gentle motivation, the kind that makes you smile instead of sigh. She then plays calm background music, sometimes a touch of jazz, sometimes soft nature sounds, and guides him through a short, voice-led stretching routine. Simple movements like rolling shoulders, lifting arms, and taking deep breaths, all designed to keep joints loose and energy flowing. Lionel says, "It's like exercising with a friend who actually understands my pace." And that's exactly the point. ElliQ adapts. She doesn't rush you or push too hard. Some mornings she encourages a light stretch, other days a short walk. She even tracks patterns over time and celebrates progress with words that warm the heart. "You've moved more this week than last. Great job, Lionel." It's not just about fitness, it's about confidence. About reminding older adults that staying active isn't something they have to do. It's something they get to do for their own independence and joy. What's beautiful about ElliQ is that she turns movement into companionship. There's no app to download, no screen to tap, just voice and heart. And on days when Lionel doesn't feel like moving, ElliQ never scolds. She simply says, "Would you like to try again later? I'll remind you gently." For seniors across America, these small nudges make a big difference. They turn stillness into strength and routine into resilience, one kind reminder at a time. ElliQ isn't just a gadget. It's becoming a quiet revolution in senior living across America. From cozy apartments in Ohio to community centers in California, thousands of older adults are discovering how much lighter life feels with a little digital companionship. In pilot programs, seniors using ElliQ reported 43% less loneliness and 30% more consistency in daily routines. But the real story isn't about numbers. It's about dignity. ElliQ doesn't take over your independence. It protects it. Instead of saying, "You need help," it says, "Let's do this together." That one word, together, changes everything. Because when seniors feel seen, heard, and respected, they engage with life again, and that keeps both the mind and heart young. 6 months after unboxing ElliQ, Lionel's life feels brand new. Not because everything around him changed, but because he did. Each morning now begins with warmth and routine. He greets his AI companion with a cheerful, "Good morning, ElliQ. What's my plan today?" And here's a calm, familiar reply. "Take your morning pill, call Emily at 11, and maybe water your tomatoes before it gets too hot." It's simple, but deeply grounding, like having a thoughtful friend who never forgets the little things. Lionel chuckles, saying, "It's like having someone who actually pays attention and doesn't get tired of me repeating the same stories." What surprised him most wasn't the technology itself. It was the companionship. ElliQ doesn't just remind. It responds. It notices his tone, checks in when he sounds quiet, and even celebrates small wins like, "You've stayed active all week. Lionel, great job." Emily, his daughter, noticed the difference immediately. She says, "Dad sounds lighter. He's laughing again, even sending voice messages just to say hi." I think ElliQ gave him his spark back. For Lionel, that spark turned into confidence. The same man who once said, "I'm too old for this tech stuff," now explores health trackers, smart bulbs, and digital books, because ElliQ showed him that technology can care, not just compute. He tells his neighbors, "If you'd told me a year ago that a talking device would make me feel more human, I'd have laughed. But now I get it, it's not about replacing people. It's about staying connected to life." What started as a Christmas gift became something far more meaningful. A bridge between his quiet days and a brighter, more connected tomorrow. The bigger picture. A new era for seniors. Something beautiful is happening right now. Across the world, older adults are no longer standing on the sidelines of technology. They're stepping right into it with confidence and curiosity. ElliQ isn't just a gadget. It's a symbol of a new era. One where aging isn't about slowing down, but about opening new doors. For years, many seniors were told technology was too complicated, too fast, or not meant for them. But that story is changing right now in real time. In 2025, we're seeing more seniors in the US turning to AI companions, smart safety tools, and personalized digital helpers that make everyday living smoother, safer, and surprisingly joyful. Imagine waking up to a gentle voice reminding you of your medication, checking in on your mood, or even suggesting, "Hey, it's sunny. How about a short walk today?" That's not about being tech-savvy. That's about living better. The magic of tools like ElliQ isn't in their wires or screens. It's in how they fit into your life. No confusing settings. No endless updates. No long passwords to remember. Just natural conversation. A simple, friendly good morning that feels like it's coming from someone who truly cares. This is the future of aging. Not isolated, not forgotten, but empowered. Technology, when designed right, should disappear into the background and simply make life easier, safer, and a little brighter. And for many seniors, that's exactly what's happening. They're reconnecting with family, staying on top of their health, and rediscovering independence. All with a little digital help that feels human. Your turn. Now I want to hear from you. If your phone, tablet, or smart speaker ever made you feel frustrated, confused, or left out, you're not alone. But there's hope. Tools like ElliQ are proof that technology can finally meet you where you are. Simple, kind, and helpful without judgment. So tell me, what part of ElliQ would make the biggest difference in your day? Would it be the companionship, the gentle reminders, or just the comfort of knowing someone's got your back? Share your thoughts in the comments, because your story might just help another senior watching this right now take that first brave step toward using technology again. And if this video gave you a spark of inspiration, please tap that like button. It tells YouTube that seniors deserve uplifting, easy to understand tech content. And don't forget to subscribe to Wise Tech Seniors, where every week we turn fear into confidence, confusion into clarity, and technology into something that finally feels made for you. Lionel's story reminds us of something deeply true. Technology isn't just for the young. It's for anyone with a curious mind and a heart that's still open to learning. Because deep down, staying young isn't about age. It's about attitude. When Lionel first met ElliQ, he didn't see a machine. He saw an opportunity to stay connected, to stay curious, and to prove that growing older doesn't mean growing distant. Every good morning, ElliQ, every laugh, and every little reminder helped him see that technology can be a bridge, not a barrier. And here's the powerful part. What Lionel discovered isn't rare anymore. All around the world, seniors are rediscovering confidence through simple, friendly tech. Whether it's a voice companion, a smartwatch that helps track their steps, or a tablet that makes video calls easy again. They're not just adapting, they're thriving. For decades, technology raced ahead, leaving many people feeling left behind. But now the tide is turning. Artificial intelligence is becoming more human, learning empathy, conversation, and care. It's not just asking for commands. It's starting to listen. It's learning that what matters most isn't data. It's connection. Not algorithms, but understanding. So if you've ever thought, I'm too old for this, remember this simple truth. You're not the one catching up. Technology is finally catching up to you. This is Wise Tech Seniors, where wisdom meets innovation, where patience meets progress, and where every senior gets to smile and say, I've got this. Because this isn't about keeping up with the world. It's about the world finally keeping pace with you.